Hello, here we are in the end zone of the Blackman Blaze Field, other known as the Inferno, and I'm here with Coach Philip Shadowens. It is Game 3, but Week 2, right?
Correct.
Game 3, Week 2, and this is the first district game, 7 AAA, and our first opponent is, we're going to do something tonight. I'm sure you're going to go over to the freshman game possibly for a little while if you can get away, if time permits, and you and I will be walking into the purple and gold, the doghouse, for the first time, and we won't be wearing purple and gold, and we won't be thinking about purple and gold. They will be the opponent, and we will be wearing the orange and blue.
Absolutely. And, there's been a lot of talk made, and I don't need to rehash all that. There's been a lot of talk made about us going back and playing against Smyrna and, a school that I spent, my first 40 years of life, at or supporting or coaching or playing for. That chapter, as I said in the paper numerous times, is a great chapter of my life, and I wouldn't trade those memories and those friendships and that I've built over those years. It was a great time and a great ride. But this is a different chapter, and I love these kids just like I love the kids at Smyrna. We have great kids here at Blackman High School, and I am looking very much forward to playing our first district game. Regardless of who the opponent would be, it just happens to be that it's going to be Smyrna for our first district game. And both teams will be excited, and both teams will be ready to play, and we're expecting, of course, a great crowd. And it ought to be a fun night for high school football.
Absolutely, absolutely. And let's talk a little bit about a couple of different things. Let's talk about your support here. You came in at Christmas. You have a wonderful boss. She supports this program so well. And that's part one of the question. And part two is where you've come from since Bob Jones. I mean, we go down to Bob Jones and across the line, we see a fantastic football team. I mean, they were, for a spring scrimmage, they were pretty well-oiled machines. So first talk about the administration and the leadership here, and then let's segue into Bob Jones to today.
Well, first of all, talking about our administration. Our administration has been great. They've been very helpful in everything that we need for our program. It's a great school from an academic standpoint, from an athletic standpoint, and that's all you can ask for. I mean, it's your job to coach them, it's their job to support you, and they've done a great job of doing that. So that's been fun. And Gail Vick is a wonderful principal, a wonderful lady, more so than a principal, just a wonderful lady in general. So and does a great job as a principal. Now, Bob Jones High School, talking about our spring scrimmage, went in to play a team that had all the returners coming back, that ran a no-huddle offense, something we didn't even know about until the day before the scrimmage, and we had 7 days to input a brand new defense to our kids, and so it wasn't a good day for us, but we only got to play a half, but in that half we played our first 3 strings at some point. So we just wanted to get some kids on video to evaluate what kind of effort they could put forth. And so the score didn't look good at Bob Jones, but at the same time we didn't go down there to look at the score. We got in there to evaluate kids that day, and unfortunately we only got a half of that. But how much progress we've made from then? Obviously we've made tons of progress, which is very evident of anybody that went to Bob Jones. But our kids have learned our expectations. They've learned our offense and defense obviously much better. We only had 2 pass plays and 3 running plays in. We didn't have hardly anything in. So
there wasn't a playbook; it was in your hand.
No, you could write it on. You could write it in the palm of your hand actually. So, but I just want to see about effort. And our kids from day one, from January on, have given unbelievable effort in our off-season workouts. They've given great effort in every one of our practices, and I think that's because of the great senior leadership we have. We have 24 seniors.
Wow.
And about 11 of them play quite a bit, but even the ones that don't play come out to work every day, and they work at their role, whatever that role may be, whether it's on the kickoff team or whether it's as a practice player or whatever. And those kids, and as I sit here and watch them paint and be in the middle of the field, those kids take a lot of pride and have a lot of pride about being here at Blackman High School, and they have a lot to prove. They know that, and they're just anxious to continue with the season and continue to make progress each week like we have these first 2 weeks.
And it's been fun for them. That's the big thing. I mean, people don't realize how much fun it's been. And this school hadn't had a whole lot of fun when they start to talk about football. I'm talking about victories and building a tradition. And you've laid the first 2 bricks. of the bricks and mortar of doing that and starting that, and and now you've got it going. But how do you calibrate it? And how have you calibrated the racehorse all week long, building up to the anticipation? I mean, when do you say, okay, guys, it's time to saddle up, we're ready to go, or buckle up, or whatever the term you want to use? I mean, great trainers, that's what they do in the horse industry to get them ready.
You kind of, first of all, yesterday we went out in short shoulder pads and helmet because Tuesday was a pretty physical practice. And, yesterday got really physical even though we didn't have full pads on. So, every time you see somebody get hit or somebody go to the ground when they're not supposed to, you kind of cringe and, hopefully all going to get up. But, you just sit back and watch, as a coach. I mean, it's about the kids playing, it's not about the coaches that are coaching. It's our job just to give them a game plan, teach them fundamentals, and let them go play the game. And my whole philosophy on all that has been this: high school football is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I've said that. People are smart to know that because they've heard that from me very many times. And I truly believe that. I mean, yes, we have to get after them sometimes when they're not practicing hard or whatever, but I want it to be fun for the kids. It's the only time they get to play high school football, and there's no redos. And you'll see on a Friday night, you'll see hundreds of guys, and they'll be telling stories about when they were in high school.
Yeah.
We all do still, and so I want this high school time to be a great time for them. These seniors, this is their last year. I want them to enjoy what they've worked so hard to enjoy, and it's hard to work hard sometimes when you don't get the payday that you want on Friday night, and so these kids have really enjoyed these first 2 weeks, and they're looking forward to Friday night. They still hear the talk that we hadn't beat anybody very good yet, and we hadn't done this, we hadn't done that. And they've been told for a few years what they hadn't done.
Yeah.
And now it's time for them to show what they can do.
Yeah, and the preparation of that, people don't understand the amount of hours and the amount of work that goes on, not only from kids in the off season, the players, everybody trying to get ready. I mean, just they don't know the amount of time that puts in, but the person that is the most prepared, the most physical, and the one that's ready to get up and go for a W, that's going to be the winner.
Absolutely. Both teams will be highly motivated tomorrow night. Spartan's coming off the loss to Brentwood. Some of those kids, obviously, from 2 years ago, I did get to coach. I mean, they want to play good.
Sure.
I mean, they want to play good, and our kids are highly motivated because we need to win a district game, and we have a lot of goals, just like all teams do right now, and we have a lot to prove. And our kids are anxious to prove something against a team that's a good football team, which Smyrna is. And I'm not taking away from Tullahoma and Lincoln County. We played very well down there. We were better than both those teams, obviously, and our kids did their job and played really hard and had fun playing. But our kids are anxious to play, someone with a lot of notoriety, and someone that people say we can't beat.
Yeah.
And somebody picked, 2 in the district, and we were picked 5th. And our kids are, want to earn some respect. And people don't give you respect. You have to earn it.
Yeah.
And our kids are ready to earn some respect.
Well, and you talked about something that was so cool, and I want to expand upon that question. And you talk about it, and I've talked about it to a lot of kids, and that is the amount of plays there is. I mean, if you're on offense, what is there, 120, 130? I cut the film and then pass it off to you. And I see each one of those video files, and as I look at them, I say, wow, there's only like 120, 130 plays, mostly in a game. There's 4 quarters. So if you play your regular schedule, you only got so many minutes on the field. If you get to start, if you do all those right things, if you prepare in the off season, if you come out, if you report, if you do all those things, you're so correct. The time is it's a flash in the pan. And then they realize it, like you said, and then they are on the sidelines on Friday night saying, I can remember when we played X.
Right. Well, these kids here, I mean, they talk about when they were freshmen and when they were 8th graders, and they can remember how quick. They made a comment the other day. Some of them did when I was talking with them. It seemed like it was no time ago when they were freshmen.
Yeah.
And then you look up, and after Friday night, you'll be about a third of the way through the season.
Yeah.
You're a quarter away from being 1/3 exactly away from through the season. And so it does go by very quickly. And I want them to enjoy. I mean, you push them hard, to a certain degree, but you want them to enjoy what this experience is about and have great memories for a lifetime. And you want to teach them lots of life lessons. And I think the sport of football teaches some invaluable life lessons.
Oh, yeah.
And the knocking down on your tail, having to get up and fight every day, and bad things happen, you got to recover, all those things that we face in life. And I think football teaches that better than anything. And I want those kids to learn those lessons as they enjoy the game of high school football.
Last two questions, and I hate for it to be a long show, but I just had so much on my mind, and the excitement is just building. But you just can't buy it, and I think that's what people can say. Well, he gets them to drink the Kool-Aid, or he gets to he sells them the show. But that's what a coach does. He sells an offense. He sells an idea. He sells it all, because if they don't buy, then nothing happens. If you make a sales approach, or you pitch an idea or something, and nobody signs, or nothing happens, or then it's just right there. But tomorrow night and all this week, I mean, it won't be the same next week. I mean, we'll get up, or regardless of whatever the finish is, we'll prepare and go on to the next game. But the bottom line is, you can't buy it, can you, Coach? You can't buy it.
You can't. I mean, the special feeling that comes along with the Friday night football game, and the team unity that goes into that, and I don't think that's something, a lot of people talk about team unity all the time. Well, talking about it is what a lot of people do, and it's just talk. I mean, either through the work they do and the efforts they put forth, they have team unity, or they don't. I mean, you can't make them have team unity. You can't make them come together as a football team. I really don't think you can. I mean, it's about those group of kids coming together and caring about each other and loving each other and being a family. And I don't think you can invent that. I mean, I think you work hard enough, you put them in situations in practice, and where they have to work together. They don't have to like each other. No. I mean, I'm sure there's some kids on our team that may not like it. There's 100 of them. I mean, there may be somebody that don't like each other.
You do it every day in your job. I mean, there's not everybody in that school that likes you.
Exactly. So, but you have to overcome those things and be a family and bond together for one common goal. And our kids have one common goal. And as long as they buy into that and they believe that, which our kids do, we have one goal, and our kids know what it is, and we don't talk about all that, but we have one goal. And every one of them on our team can tell you what that goal is, and they probably won't because they're not supposed to, but we have one goal. And
you got to take it one step at a time, one golf shot at a time, and you just want to know who's in the foxhole, really.
Everybody's got to be together. I mean, you're only as good as your weakest link, and that's all cliche and all that, but that's the truth. You're only as good as your weakest link, so you can't have anybody fighting against you within your team. And those 90 or 92 or 90, whatever it is we have, they're all together.
Last but not least, boys, Saturday. Well, we kick off college football tonight. My alma mater's going up against Indiana. The Colonels go Big E. But, we kick it off Saturday. We got, and if I miss anybody, gosh forbid, we've sent so many to the next level. But we got several at Cumberland we've helped move on to the next level. We got a couple at Tennessee. We got a kid at Vandy.
Two.
Two at Vandy. And then we got... even some of our opponents, Spurlock will be going a big controversial game. The first game, Miami and Florida State. The Spurlock kid will be playing, and started last year, and then and all the kids are going to get to play. We hope to get to see Rod and Marcellus, and then how are you going to work all the television sets, all the radios, keep up with everything, and then you got to take a break sometime during the Labor Day weekend.
Well, first one thing that we're going to do is we're going to work on Cane Ridge Saturday morning before the game's
I know that. We're going to wrap that up quick.
We're going to do that Tennessee breakdown Saturday morning. Then our coaches do have off Saturday afternoon to watch games, and we come back together Sunday at 4.
Right.
So I figure I'll sit down and watch Tennessee play at 11:30, whatever time they come on, against Western Kentucky. And Western Kentucky has Adam Smith from here, who's another lineman there at Western Kentucky. Of course, I was privileged enough to get to coach Rodriguez Wilkes and Marcellus Johnson when I was at Smyrna. And I've talked to those kids this week. They're very excited about starting the season.
Josh Day's up at Austin Peay.
Got Josh Day at Austin Peay. He's a really good player. You got two kids that are starting at Vanderbilt, Adam Smotherman and James Williams. James Williams is his first year to start as an offensive tackle. I'm going to go to that game.
Oh, good. Great.
I'm going to go to that game Saturday night. And, it's just one of those things where I text the kids.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do that for a long time, but I'm catching up on technology. So I text them, wish them luck. I've had so many texts. I've got Tyler Eady that's at UT Martin, that played for us 2 years, and last year he graduated from Smyrna, but I still consider him my kid. And, I still text Tyler, and he texts me at UT Martin. So we have so many kids that are out there. You just try to text them and wish them good luck, and I don't want to interfere. I mean, they're in college. They got so many things going on. They got their own coaches, but about once a week, once every 2 weeks, I'll send them a little text, good luck, good luck, or you look great for Saturday night in the game, or whatever. And if they have time, they call me or text me, and if they're in meetings, they don't. So, but it's fun to watch that, and just know you had a little piece of that. I mean,
that's right.
They got themselves there, but just to know that you were a little bit involved it's certainly something that's enjoyable to watch. And so after we play well Friday night, I'll be anxious to watch those.
Yeah.
I'll be anxious to watch those kids on Saturday.
Well, I guess that's a wrap. We'll, gosh, this time tomorrow afternoon, it'll be the intensity, and cars will be pulling in, and everybody will be getting set. It's right now coming up on 5 o'clock, so let's call it 26 hours from now. We're going to put the ball in there, put a coin in there, find out who's going to get that ball first, and then we'll go to work.
Sounds good. Get here early, boys. It's going to be a big crowd.
Thanks a lot, and join us tomorrow night right here. Blackman Blaze, Smyrna Bulldogs.